Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your news and weather update at 9 a.m. We are back to doing these each and every hour. We had a little bit of a little pause. We had software upgrades, if you will. I'm sure you've probably understood. But again, that's what we've been going through. That's why we took a little bit of a break pretty much through last week. We are now back to doing these hourly. So if you enjoy getting these hourly news and weather updates, continue to tune in. We'll be back with more coming up at 10 a.m. But I got to give you your news and weather updates before I start teasing the next one. Let's talk about, of course, what we are learning about today. And today, the Yam Jam Fest is going on at ECU. Pirate Nation is back, partnering with the Food Bank of Central and Eastern North Carolina to host the Yam Jam. The aim is to help raise awareness of food insecurity within the region. Today, more than 200 volunteers. Oh, that is the wrong super. That is not Jimbo. Those are kids doing the yams. But again, the Yam Jam today will go from 9 a.m. right now to 4 p.m. at Menden Hall Brickyard. ECU students, faculty, and staff who volunteer will get a free Yam Jam shirt. So again, if you'd like to help out with food insecurity and raising awareness, head to ECU today between now 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. this afternoon. That's not the only thing we've got going on today. We are also keeping an eye on the Federal Reserve. Chairman Jerome Powell is set to discuss whether or not a interest rate cut will be coming within the next few weeks or potentially extending that out into summer. CNN reports on the latest.
It's not going to be clear when they will start.
But what is clear to many analysts is interest rate cuts probably won't start today. That's despite a meeting of the Federal Reserve.
I think Chairman Powell has said we may be getting to the point where we will cut, but of course he hasn't said when.
Meanwhile, the economy is doing fairly well. Wages are rising, making it easier to pay high prices. Unemployment is low and recession fears are easing. So when it comes to interest rate cuts, what's the holdup?
The Fed can control only what it can control. It cannot control global events.
Inflation's general path toward cooling has some speed bumps. Economists say the war in Ukraine continues to affect global oil and food markets. And companies say Mideast unrest makes it harder to get oil and other goods through the Red Sea.
Since October 7th, we've seen an increased cost in the shipping of goods again.
This economist also points to recent domestic issues like the auto workers' strike, government shutdown worries, and the Silicon Valley Bank collapse. Still, he says the economy is probably doing better than people think. Wall Street predicts interest rate cuts will happen sometime this summer, just not today.
Are things perfect? No. Are they better than what people are feeling? Yes.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
And again, we continue to watch pollen levels across the east to go from, again, what we're seeing in Washington to what we've got here. Speaking of Washington, the cherry blossoms are fully in bloom, but do want to take you again to what we're seeing here in eastern North Carolina. Today's pollen forecast has a high level of tree pollen, low level of grass pollen. It is that time of year. We are now officially in not only meteorological spring, but the astronomical spring as well. Good morning to Shelba Moore. It is a very beautiful day. If you'd also like to join in on the conversation, again, that's going on Facebook. Head to the comment section of the live stream. You can join in. Shelba, I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful start to your day. Let's get back to that forecast again. Pollen levels today, a little bit lower, in fact, than what we've got coming up tomorrow, which is concerning because today we've got high levels of tree pollen. Tomorrow goes up to a very high level of tree pollen. Now, grass pollen also going to come up a bit from low levels today to moderate levels tomorrow. Ragweed pollen not expected to show up. Usually tree pollen is the first to really make its presence felt. We've seen that so far today and yesterday. But as far as grass and ragweed pollen, those happen a little bit later in the year. We see grass pollen really start to take off right around mid-end of May and then last through at least the first half of summer. Actually hearing sneezing going on behind me as I'm talking about pollen. And then as we head into essentially the middle of summer to the tail end of summer, that's when the ragweed pollen really starts to get going. So again, it's all kind of a timing-based thing, but let's take a look at what we're seeing outside right now. Currently 49 degrees in New Bern, comes with a west-southwesterly breeze at 10 miles an hour. Feels like 45, so a little bit of a wind chill present in this morning's forecast, but for those of you heading a little bit further inland towards Pitt County, Greenville, right now 46 degrees, west-southwesterly breeze again at 10 miles an hour. Feels like 41 degrees. Dew points right now down in the low 30s. Now, lunchtime today, going to be back up into the upper 50s to low 60s between around 11 a.m. to noon. But because those winds are only going to increase in speed out of the west-southwest, and we've got plenty of sunshine, air temperatures will climb. Looking at even around the upper 60s, low 70s later on today. Not a bad day to get out and enjoy the sunshine. It carries over into tomorrow, but do note, tomorrow is going to be a cooler day. Won't notice it too much early on in the morning, maybe a bit, but the northeasterly winds, that is certainly going to have an impact on you as you head through tomorrow afternoon. Today, we're going to get close to 70 degrees. Would not shock me if we had several inland areas reach 70, 71 degrees. Absolute possibility. Tomorrow, not the case. And the big reason why are those northeasterly winds that we'll see early on in the morning. So that's why tomorrow will be a cooler day. Let's take a look at your full 8-day forecast. It's not so much the cool down coming up from today into tomorrow that has our attention. It's the rain showers. There's going to be an area of low pressure that today moves from Texas across some of the Gulf Coast states. It's going to take its time moving over the Gulf Coast states, really unleashing a lot of water over the next 24 hours over Louisiana and Mississippi. But as that low heads over Alabama and Georgia, it's going to weaken a bit. Not really seeing the same sort of rain potential. But then as it moves over the Carolinas, that's going to happen on Friday. It's going to encounter some more moisture along our coastline, producing heavier rain showers through your Friday night into Saturday, as that low essentially kind of regains strength over eastern North Carolina. Now, it's not going to regain the type of strength that could lead to any sort of severe weather. That's not going to happen. But we are going to see heavy enough rain showers to really wash away some of the pollen we collect over the next several days. So again, one last look at that full 8-day forecast. The temperatures fall from Saturday into Sunday, 67 on Saturday, maybe 60 degrees on Sunday. Would not shock me if several areas, particularly along the coast on Sunday, end up staying in the upper 50s. After that, though, the heat returns. 64 on Monday, 69 Tuesday, 74 on Wednesday. Just to put that into perspective, normal this time of year is right around the mid to upper 60s. That's all we have time for this news and weather update. Really want to say thank you for joining me again. We will be back doing these each and every hour from here on out. Now that we got our software system all upgraded and updated, we are good to go. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll be back within the next hour, coming up at 10 a.m. with more news and weather. Thank you, guys.